good.
Oof, damn.
He's getting up.
You actually made Stephen leave.
I mean, this is my bed and I'm laying in it. I was a proponent of watching this movie based upon some feedback, and I went and watched it. I went all the way through this thing, and it just wasn't for me. It might be for you.
Gen Wars. Welcome to Gen Wars, the generational movie podcast pitting the Gen Xers against the Millennials. I'm your host, Nick, and with me, our usual band of, merry misfits, Cam, Katherine, and Stephen. Cam and I are representing Gen X, and Katherine and Stephen are representing the Millennials. How is everybody doing today? Are we all sufficiently skeeved out?
We're totally pumped up, dude.
Incapable of making phone calls, fully millennial.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't that the truth, Steven?
It is wild how anti-phone y'all are.
It's actually very triggering to me. Side note, there's a whole kind of a new psychological diagnoses about not being able to make phone calls. And I'm a chatterbox, so I love making phone calls. So I just feel very misfitted, and I'm trying to cope with that personally. So that's on me.
You're also a pacer when you're on the phone.
I am a pacer, like a
Me too.
Annoying.
Goddamn psycho.
I walk all the time.
I think I had to send you out of our office multiple times.
It's just
get out.
please stop. I'm like, I'm on the phone. You're like, okay, be on the phone somewhere else. Go to the track, something. So I keep my nice jazzercise figure.
Yeah, that's
there you go. Well, speaking of jazzercise figures, today we're reviewing the 2024 film The Substance, directed by Coralie Fargeat. That's how I've heard it pronounced a bunch, so I'm going with that. I apologize if I've butchered your last name, Coralie.
I think it's French.
Starring Demi.
It is.
It is. I don't have a French accent, though, so
job,
it's real hard to say.
I did it.
Starring Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley.
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 I say Qualley.
And Dennis.
Qualley?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Could be
and
French.
Dennis
It's
Quaid.
French.
Yes.
All right. Well, before we start talking about this, spoiler alert. Why can I never say spoiler alert?
Got your
Spoilers
exercises,
ahead.
your vocal exercises.
Spoilers ahead. There we go. And if you haven't seen this, you've been warned. And also, here is a quick synopsis of the movie before we get into this. Fading actress Elizabeth Sparkle becomes distressed when her chauvinistic boss fires her from her aerobics show. She soon injects herself with a mysterious serum that promises a younger, better version of herself, but things go horribly wrong, to say the least. So, we've had some brief discussions about this, so anybody
I think the
wanna
promises
start
were
this
a
off?
better version of yourself, not necessarily younger.
Oh,
Fair.
sorry. Promises of a younger, better version of herself. Maybe I missed those words there.
Let us know in the comments.
I mean, I can read it off the.
Oh, she's
back
got
there.
she's got the physical
Oh.
media.
Oh, really?
What does it say?
Is that 4K Ultra HD?
Indeed, which is here's a fun little touch here. The Blu-ray, the old Blu-ray has Demi Moore on it, while the cool 4K has Margaret on it.
Savage, absolutely
All right.
brutal.
So rough.
It says Demi Moore gives a character best performance as Elizabeth Sparkle, a former A-lister past her prime and suddenly fired from her fitness TV show by repellent studio head Harvey. She is then drawn to the opportunity presented by a mysterious new drug, the substance. All it takes is one injection and she is reborn, temporarily, as the gorgeous 20-something Sue. The only rule? Time needs to be split. Exactly 1 week in one body, then 1 week in the other. No exceptions. A perfect balance. What could go wrong? Deliriously entertaining and ruthlessly satirical. And I kind of, the rest of it is just talks about the director. So.
Yeah, why don't you just let Catherine read these? What are you doing, Nick?
I don't know. He's like, well,
Are you trying to monopolize the
woman has
studio
found her
show over
calling.
here?
no.
Apparently I'm a better reader than you, Nick.
Get this man
You
some
are one hundred-
scrimps. Get
That
him some
is
scrimps.
without question. I will concede to that. I'm an awful reader.
Literacy isn't my strong suit.
No, it is not.
I'm a gutter reader.
I'm a good.
Yeah, you should see my notes and the red lines under everything. Everything's misspelled.
I'm crying.
Glammy's a word.
Catherine, do you have some budgetary stuff for this movie?
I do. This was a small budget film. It was
Shocker.
$17.5 million. And it was all pretty much filmed in France, while it's supposed to look like it's in Hollywood, LA area, but it was all pretty much done in France in a studio.
Two stinky
Post-production.
places.
You're not wrong.
Just trying to alienate those French viewers out of the gate.
They know. They know. They talk about it on Reddit. I've seen a thread or two. You know.
And there was the Mubi. I don't know, Mubi.
Mubi.
Mubi. They acquired the film from Universal for $12 million. So I wonder how Universal's feeling about that right now.
Super salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't a smart move.
What streaming
No.
service is
Smart move from
Universal attached to? Do we know? Is it Max? Are they kind of tied in?
I
I don't
thought it
even
was
know
Max.
at this point.
Okay.
I think it's Max.
Hold on.
Fact checking.
You guys keep fact checking.
Okay, so
Catherine, keep going with that. I'll check this out.
yeah, performance-wise for this film, it was in competition against like Transformers 1, Beetlejuice, Deadpool, and Wolverine. So it interesting.
You know, a little bit of a genre spread there.
Yeah, indeed. So domestic opening, it did about 3.2 million. And domestically, like altogether, about 17.5 million. So they've made their money back. And then
Early.
internationally, they made a little over 59 million, and then worldwide 77 million.
Not bad.
Not bad. And then
So- Sorry, let me jump in real quick. The Universal Pictures are distributed to Peacock during the first and last 4 months. And then Amazon Prime holding exclusive rights to Universal's live action films during the remainder of the period.
Okay, so Amazon
So it's like Amazon would probably
shell
house
gamed
that.
it. Yeah, that's weird.
Again, they're all just scooping each other up, so
Yeah.
I don't know who owns what anymore.
Because I thought Universal
That's
films
the
are being
point.
released on on Max.
Wait.
I thought it was.
What's written on that Blu-ray? What's written on that?
What?
Who owns that? Oh, hold on.
It does say, it says Mubi right here.
It's just movie, so it's independent. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just Mubi.
Good to know. Okay.
Okay, sorry, continue with the budget. I didn't mean...
Tangent. Hold on.
Major, I pretty much went through all the budget, but major awards, it was nominated for 277 various nominations and had 134 wins. Obviously, the most notable is the Academy Awards. It was nominated for 5, but only won, which is Best Makeup and Hairstyling, obviously. And then Cam's favorite awards, the Saturn Awards.
The Saturn Awards. GM
Dude, I love
Bears.
those cars. So
Four
glad they're still
noms on
making
that,
awards.
but not cars. 4 noms,
They ought to
1
be.
Best Makeup, and then for Stephen, the Golden Globes. That is 5.
The Emmys?
Huh?
The
Emmys. Yeah, there you go. 5 noms and 1 for Best Actress.
Did it get a Tony, though?
No, because it's not a musical.
Who got
Emilia
Best
Perez
Actress?
did. Oof. Demi got Best Actress.
Oh, he said that really confidently.
Me?
You're like, obviously it was Demi.
you were confused. I'm like, who else would it be?
I mean, it could have been Sue. She was supposed to be the better version of her.
But she's the supporting actress.
Dang, got him.
She got top billing.
Ooh, true.
Yes, she did.
I got
Fun fact. Margaret Qualley is Andie MacDowell's daughter.
I don't know who that is.
You do.
You definitely
You do.
know who
do.
she is.
You do.
A little movie called Groundhog Day.
Who in
The
Groundhog?
love interest in Groundhog
Rita.
Day.
Which one?
He thinks Andy is
The,
a guy.
the main love.
Oh, the love.
Andie is a woman.
Oh, okay.
The woman that he's chasing
I knew where it
throughout
went
the
off
whole
track.
movie.
I'm very bad with names.
It's Andie, Stephen.
And I.
Not a Y.
Okay, I did not
Pronunciate and
know that.
enunciate and die.
And I.
It still wouldn't have helped me.
Thank you for mansplaining that to me.
Oh, yeah, sure. Anytime.
Not today, Stephen.
What is a man? Who knows? I don't.
So I didn't know that Ray Liotta started
Yeah.
filming this movie, which would have been which is a very interesting, with his later roles that he's been in. It would have been a very interesting well, it was an interesting casting choice. Unfortunately, he passed away, and then Dennis Quaid stepped in for that.
Yeah, 'cause this was filmed in 2022. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like that was a really
So, like-
long time ago. Yeah.
coming right out of the pandemic.
Started this timeline.
Fun fact alert. He ate all of those scrimps. All 4 pounds.
Yes.
He was not okay. Shrimps are
Wow.
bugs.
I
Shrimps
don't-
are bugs. I'm campaigning for shrimps or
Delicious.
bugs.
I mean
Delicious
that's
sea
cool.
bugs.
They're so
Yeah.
great. I eat them all the time. I've got some in my freezer right now.
Yeah.
I was actually going to have some tonight.
And you have roly-polies in your yard. Just go for that protein min max. Come on.
No. Do
Do we
I'll
know?
do shrimp. I don't like crawfish. Meh.
Crawfish is more of an experience than a meal.
That's so much work. Not enough payoff.
I know. That's why you gotta sit there forever and be part of the experience. The meal just kind of pays off along the way.
All right, let's get back on track here. Talking about the movie.
Choo
All right,
choo.
does anyone have anything that they would like to jump off with, or?
In my defense, I was talking about the movie. He did eat 4 pounds of shrimps, which are bugs.
I mean, yes, he did eat
He's
4
not
pounds of
wrong.
shrimp.
This movie used practical effects pretty much the entire film, except for with Monstro Elizasu, the Demi's face on her back. Everything else was practical.
Monstro Elizasu.
That's a good
TM,
description.
official name.
That's literally what it's called.
They did the
Oh, is it?
Suicide
Oh,
Squad
yeah, I guess it
title
did.
cards for each
It
character.
really did, yes. Yes.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, no, I forgot that
Literacy
title
is
card came
hard.
up.
We've
And
already established.
Okay,
yes,
all right.
literacy is
It's a
hard.
good thing the substance has very clean branding for you to read. No.
Oh, it's,
The mysterious company is 100% how I would brand a project on my own. So I was really engaged from the get-go. I was like, oh, the packaging is really nice. Ooh, I like that explainer video. Like, that's really good. This is all falling right into where I would like to be. High contrast, really good, legible. I think it was literally either Impact or DIN for the fonts of the company. Like,
it's getting real nerdy here.
Designer.
Nerd. Oh god, he broke out the fonts.
let me tell you.
Well, actually.
Well, actually, I'm probably going to be flamed for being 100% wrong, but at first viewing, from the back of the couch, I like myself some condensed fonts with, like, high contrast color palettes.
I know.
I mean, who doesn't?
I ate that shit up.
Savages.
But not shrimp.
Not scripts, those are bugs. We don't eat bugs. We eat good design.
Yeah, it's because you're landlocked, sir. You shouldn't eat any of the things that come from the ocean.
No.
Correct.
No.
I'll get them right from the Gulf here.
You do that. They still pee in that water. Where do
I mean,
animals
we
pee
all
when they
pee
live in the
that
ocean?
Water.
In the water.
Yeah.
Where does the salt come from?
Not
Your tears.
No,
Your tears.
That's the correct answer, Kim.
Yeah.
I've never cried. Men don't show emotions. Come on.
Come on, millennial male. Show me.
I don't have my scarf or my burger joint within reach. So.
Yours is Taco Bell. Who are you kidding?
I do love T Busy.
Oh, so
Speaking
I
of
really,
crying.
I really enjoyed how they made her Hollywood star or the Walk of Fame star kind of the bookends to the movie, and we see that like the passage of time and her star is fading, and just getting cracked and people just not paying any attention to it. What did the guy drop on it? Like
He dropped a burger and fries.
Glizzy glazed.
I
thought it was a burger and
just
fries.
I don't know.
the street sweeper just sweeps it away, and we move on.
Yeah,
to
it was
the
like
next
a
scene.
poetic beginning and ending, like bookends. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Which, the passage of time whenever she is Sue, and you're like, they constantly get that like bird's eye view of the palm trees. Like that's actually the view of the palm trees from her star, which I thought was a nice little touch.
Yes, that was nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
The stunt crash, however, wherever they did that, and applaud the stunt person in that car. That was like really good, impactful crash into which Stephen was talking about what kind of car it was that hit her. And while you guys were talking, we had a conversation the other day, and I didn't notice this the first time around, but you were saying that all the cars were either very old or very new on the streets and everything, which was I was just watching it before we started recording, and I was like, oh yeah, they are like all over the place.
Yes, for the audience at home, she is driving a fairly new, if not brand new, Mustang at the time, and it was absolutely creamed by matte black, I would say 80s car. It had square headlights, double bulb with a hood scoop. So like. And then when the crash finalized, and this is when I first started like paying attention to the cars, which continues throughout the film. I believe it's a Corvette and a Chevelle from the 60s, 70s in the background of that. So it's like all of that, like the old is impacting current era, like the feeling of being old, or like that old having such a big impact on today was a great like motif that continues throughout the film, especially when you have a limited amount.
It's like that subtle touch in the background. It feels like everything in this film was very intentionally done, very thought out.
Because it all costs money.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I couldn't identify the time period in this because of the cars and what they were filming. But then there's like, I don't know, smartphones. This like I feel like this is kind of a new way of doing filming and stuff where they just slam time periods together and say figure it out, or it's part of the story. It's weird as fuck.
Symbolism.
But I think it's supposed to be.
There's lots of symbolism in this film.
We're supposed to be in present day.
It feels very mid 80s. From like what they're filming and how they're doing it and some of the things around it, and then it jumps to like newer,
like a
more
lens.
Yeah, I mean,
like someone that was like feeling better when they were in the 80s and viewing the life that they once had through a lens.
Oh.
This is my annoyed face, Steven.
I mean, I'm supposed to be entertained. It brought more questions than anything else, and
Interesting.
Good. You should be thinking.
I didn't take it.
This is a thinking movie.
I didn't take it out of.
It seemed very surface level to me.
No. This
Avant-garde.
just in talking to Stephen and Catherine in the past couple days. I'm like, I need to go back
The
and
two
rewatch
fangirls. What did they have to say about this movie?
Wow. He's out the gates, ladies and gentlemen, out the gates.
This. Well,
I mean,
Rude.
this movie is pretty much if IKEA made cloning. So I mean, go on. So
In its
bad.
look and feel, at surface level, he's not wrong. When he's analyzing it at first, yeah, you know what? I see.
Yeah,
I
there
see
was-
where you're
there
coming
was-
from. I'll extend the olive branch there.
there's an initial
Tragedy.
watching
No.
of this movie where you're watching it at that surface level, but then when you start breaking it down, there's a lot underneath it.
There's a lot of layers to
and
this
I'm-
film. Yeah.
Like onion.
Yeah, my girlfriend was like, "You watched it without me," and I'm like, "I had to do a podcast, so I'll watch it again." Like,
I'm
so
sorry.
I'm gonna get to see it again. No, see, I want to watch it again. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed this movie a lot. So,
Timing out.
Cam, why did you
Tap out.
watch this film? Because you were the first one to like, hey, like we haven't decided on the episode for this. The movie for this episode, I'm gonna watch this, and then we kind of all fell suit. So, run us down on that.
My wife said that she really liked it. It turns out a lot of women really like this movie.
So you got dragged in on a second watch or the first watch?
The first watch, I didn't watch it when she did, and we were talking about other movies, and she had mentioned The Substance, and I was like, all right, go check it out. And then I watched it, and I was like, what a complete waste of time that was. It was really it was
I don't
just
think
dumb
Cam was
to me.
the target audience.
I was not the target
No.
audience for this. Like one, I couldn't set a time period in it. It was over the top and glammy. It was pretty much like as superficial as it possibly could about people's looks, and then the going down into the male chauvinist type of thing. It was too on the nose.
He does see.
It was honestly, it felt so dumbed down for an audience. I don't really think it was that complex. And like from an entertainment factor, like sure, like there were some cool scenes in it, and I like the practical effects. I think we watched two nude women on there way too long. I almost felt like the director just wanted to see naked chicks. It's weird for me now looking at the level of nudity in movies, knowing that there's porn all over the internet, and I'm like, so what do these scenes bring to the table? What value are they adding? And like a lot of it was nothing. That's just, is that it? It was to be gratuitous for no reason.
Absolutely, we totally agree for the other half of the coin, which is so fun for me. But that I'm
All right.
pinning in that later.
So you also have to take into account that the director is French, and they grow up with a much different standard of entertainment and openness to nudity and things like that than we do in our closed-off society.
Sure, I've seen French porn before.
Not porn. I'm talking about just regular old
What's
fucking
the
movies.
difference?
No,
But like, it is much
I joke.
different.
Catherine, do you want to go on a rebuttal
it.
to that, or
Um,
on why the nudity? Why the nudity? I think that's like I'll facilitate the discussion.
facilitate why the nudity. I think the nudity, I mean, it was obviously to show between how Elizabeth hates herself versus Sue finds herself like very surface level, very attractive. How she values herself only in her looks is very vain. And Elizabeth,
Almost perfection.
yes.
They both
Where,
do, though.
Well, Elizabeth did. And she's
Yeah, but-
aging out of Hollywood, and now she's being brushed aside.
Also, I would like to say that the woman who has been doing aerobics shows for the last 2 decades would not look like that at all. Like, I wonder if they got a body double in there to do that. Like, it's just odd. Does anybody know who Tony Horton is from, like... He was like a infomercial workout guy, and for the past 20 years, like that guy started when he was in his 40s. He's in his 60s now, and he looks more ripped and cut than he did, you know, decades before. Like that's kind of the progression I would expect for a woman that's kicking and doing that along for decades, and not quite so like just thrown to the side and trash. I felt like it was exaggerated a bit, and then we just held those scenes forever.
I think Stephen wants to say something there.
Yeah, hold on one second. But this whole movie is exaggerated. It's taking all of those things to the next level each time. I mean, even the close-up shot of Dennis Quaid's face when he's at the urinal. I want her younger and hotter, and you know, he's screaming into the phone. Just 2 inches from the camera. Stephen, go. Sorry.
Stephen, go.
It reminded me of that Genesis video a long time ago, where like the oh my gosh, I felt like they had all these exaggerated puppets from like the 80s icons like Reagan and Gorbachev and things like that, and they were like caricatures of themselves. Like that's how it kind of felt when they closed in on Dennis Quaid for that, was to like get that effect.
Yes.
I mean, I noticed it, and you know, my scores will recognize those points, but you know, as far as the rest, when we talk about production and like writing and all those things, it like the message of this movie just seemed very superficial and like just too on the table. I didn't really feel there was much for the audience to dive into in this.
Which I will tentatively agree with
Disagree.
you. This is the fun part. I love this part.
The man from the woman that claims to have the women's studies.
I do. I have a minor in feminist literature.
Feminist literature.
Well, I live it every day, my dude.
Doesn't matter. I've read it. So
please explain to me, Stephen.
No, I'm not going to explain that part. Different part. Big points made.
Woman, explain to her.
Well, so within the plot of the story, Elizabeth was only doing the exercise stuff as like a final gambit. Like that's like the kind of like, I am outside of doing real Hollywood, real movies and those things. This is like my swan song to my career. So that was kind of like a known issue. Like that's her last talons in her career, is this exercise thing. She was doing everything else beforehand. This is what I'm getting served, is the like morning exercise show. It's not supposed to be her dedicated bit. That's
Did we get a clip of her, what she did first to get the star?
No.
You had the posters when she was walking down on like the happy birthday scene, like all the different things, and they weren't exercise stuff.
Are you sure
I
about
think
that?
they were,
They might have
and
been.
I think you're projecting some things on there to give the illusion that she was something else. Like that. That's why I'm asking, because I really feel that hallway was a dedication to the amount of workout things that she had done, because they all looked very athletic in that. And then when they took it down and they put Sue up, you know, she had 2 posters because she had 2 specials that were going on.
So
the hallway was symbolic. Yeah.
But though I just pulled it up. Come on, skip back to it. They're laying down the star, and then it's like almost a red carpet affair. So I don't know. I mean, I grew up obviously in the 80s, and my mom used to do, exercise in the morning. And there was this one lady that she always, I don't think she would have gotten a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah. And like, and she's in a, lavish gown, and there's hundreds of photographers around
Richard
her.
Simmons.
So yeah, I don't even think
Simmons?
I bet Richard Simmons has a star on the Walk of Fame.
Okay, Pinkies.
Okay, well, Jane.
does.
Okay, this isn't about Richard Simmons, so this is like
I'm
Jane
just saying
Fonda.
that Jane Fonda
Jane
definitely has
Fonda.
one too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Jane Fonda's workout.
That's
That's definitely
video-
some Nick Mom morning workout routine.
No.
But is that why she got the star? Okay.
No, but it's a huge nod at Jane Fonda and her workout videos, and how she started in the 80s with that, and even as she's gotten older, she's made some fantastic work in her more golden years.
Well,
How dare you?
so that was my interpretation, that the workout stuff wasn't like why she had the prestige.
Okay.
Elizabeth.
No,
I agree.
No, I don't think
agree
so.
with
I
you
think
on
she
that
was
one.
a film star.
Yes. That's what
I would say that her legacy was in workouts, though, just based on that hallway.
The hallway, yeah, it is a workout poster,
It is,
workout
okay.
poster.
But that was the studio that
Workout
she was in
poster,
at that
workout
time. So
Yeah.
she did not get. We'll fact check future Gen Wars
Future
listeners.
Nick.
Future Nick. It is heavily implied that Elizabeth had a Hollywood career that was very prestigious, and that the last tail end swan song end of her career was highly focused on her workout videos. That was all she had left of her career, which then rolls into the spiral. When that last little bit was taken away, what do I have left? Nothing. So I'm going to go to drugs, the substance, to kick off the film.
Yeah, and I'll just say that, like, for a character like that, there is no substance. Like, all of these people were horrible. I didn't give a shit about any one of them. They all could have died and went off and become monstro something, and I wouldn't have cared. There was no one for me to root for in this movie. Like, Demi Moore in her character in Elizabeth, she's so self-absorbed by this that she doesn't even have real relationships with anybody around her, and the only time that she does try to strike out on that is when she's like ultimately fully rejected. I mean, who cares?
Well, she didn't go on that date. That was a big thing. That was like the
no,
self-conscious.
but like she's still trying to make that mental connection that she still has it. Someone still likes me, and whatever.
She wants that
transpired.
validation. Yeah.
Yeah, she
But
wants the
doesn't
validation
really
without
want
any
it.
of the work.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's superficial. Like it doesn't matter, and like she doesn't do anything except try to create the better version of herself, and then becomes a child when that doesn't exactly work out the right way, like it's not supposed to. It seems very fable-ish. Like there's not much to
Almost
it than
satirical.
That's what's
I mean,
tripping me.
like-
You're pulling everything you should take away from the film in your statement here. So like,
I
Yes.
know, but like I would like to pick that out like as an audience member rather than being bludgeoned over the head every single frame of this movie. It like I don't need to be handheld that much through a movie to make a connection with it. And maybe your argument is maybe you do. But
That's
like
not-
it didn't. Again, I didn't care about any of these characters from watching this.
they're all bad people. Eat the rich.
They're all bad people.
Yeah.
But it wasn't entertaining bad people. Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a bunch of bad people doing funny stuff. I could watch that forever. But these people were just horrible from start to finish. And most of them got what they deserved. Not all of them did. But yeah. It's also weird. Like, there's so many weird things about this. Like this, even how this movie starts with her being in that doctor's office with crazy eye, like super tan dude, just you used the substance so you can go be a med tech somewhere. That's so weird. What?
Why did Sue go right back to being an exercise person?
They just
Yeah.
fell back into what they were doing.
Correct.
I don't know.
That's all they wanted. It's
It's-
just to continue doing what they were doing.
Yes,
I'm not sure what he was doing other than being creepy.
You have pulled everything that
forward.
you're supposed to take away from this film, and you're being a hater. I'm just so confused.
It's
Yes.
interesting.
The
I mean,
mapping
I-
mapping.
I cannot wait to forget about this movie with plenty of substances. I mean, that's what I took away from it.
You're stressing me out. Someone else talk.
I know. Hard to believe that this guy's married.
Both.
Yeah, no. Don't talking about me with opinions like this.
Oh Lord.
Don't always see eye to eye. It's all right. I'm here to celebrate our differences.
I'm about to go into my Hollywood haterade spiel unless somebody wants to jump on top of that.
No.
I will give you
Okay.
the torch
Floor's
and the
yours.
match. Let's go.
Okay. I really find a fundamental flaw with the intent of this film, the spirit maybe of this film, with the fact that you are criticizing Hollywood and criticizing the perception of female bodies, of female in the celebrity zone by subjecting your main two actors to the same thing, and knowingly doing that and admitting to it and talking about it in interviews within promoting it and to make money. It seems a little callous, maybe. I don't know. I can't find the right word, but it's really rubbed me the wrong way since the inception of this film.
I don't think
I did find
100%. I'm
So,
with you.
no, Catherine, go. Catherine, go.
I don't. I mean, yes, there is the Hollywood aspect of this film, but I think it goes deeper and just for all women and the society beauty standards that we have to live by on a daily basis. It's not just Hollywood in general. It's always comparing ourselves and always never feeling enough in any way, shape, or form. That I feel that constantly as a woman, and it's definitely apparent in this film. And I don't think it's just Hollywood in general.
No, for sure. And that's where I'm saying, I think it's kind of egregious that Hollywood's I totally understand how that feels. Even though I've paid, good sums of money to make myself look better, or cast someone to make prosthetics to make myself look better, and then put it out there to then also subject the populace of women to then start thinking about and considering about how their body looks, and the takeaway subtly should be accept yourself and love yourself, even though when you finally accept and love yourself, you're a monstrosity at the end of it. It just doesn't ring true to me.
I don't know if it was a monstrosity. I mean, yes, she was, but yes, she was, but that was the only way she was able to free herself in that sense, particularly for Elizabeth. But when you're saying subjecting your other actors to what you're trying to the message you're trying to make, there are plenty of other actors that have to do that in order to get through their scenes, not just in this film.
I don't like Hollywood. Hollywood bad, take money.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I did find it weird that she did go right back to the
Yes.
exercise show. This guy who was clearly the creepiest of creeps and she headed right back and was like,
Yeah,
I'm going to
I
take
did
her
too.
place. It was like,
Yeah.
that's odd. I get why wouldn't you go elsewhere, but I get it that there was this opportunity that he wanted this and could make her famous and make
Posted
her
in the
that star
newspaper.
again.
So there's some subtlety because it is placed in a, let's say, 2020s era. The ad in the newspaper, she read that as Elizabeth.
Who the fuck reads newspapers?
Well, because she's older. She's a creature of habit and an elderly cast.
You have to work to go find a newspaper. I'm just saying
Yes.
That's another thing that
mainstream TV. It's all set that way on purpose.
I mean, the
this
newspaper still
weird
can
amalgam
come to your house.
of timing and stuff. It did not sit right with me. It felt very mid 80s, and then at the same time we're forced into current day times. It did not make sense on so many levels. Every time I was watching a scene, I was like, why are they doing this, or why is this here? This is just
That was the point.
unnecessary.
that is 100% the
then
point.
the
You
whole movie
fucking
was
get it
unnecessary
every time.
is what I came away with, because every
agree.
time I walked into it, it was like, yeah, no. And I really didn't need however long the runtime was. I felt like it was 90 days. It was probably 90 minutes of, just
220.
I probably needed 9 minutes of that story. It could have been a short.
141
and I'm not
minutes.
saying that because of like TikTok brain or whatnot. Like it was so drawn out. And if that was in the name of satire, then I guess you did it.
It was in the name of cinema. It was very, very Kubrick and Wes Anderson, and like
The shots were beautiful.
they were.
I loved
The cinematography was
the
fantastic,
scenes and the sets and the simplicity and like the vibes that they were pulling from that, those mid 80 vibes, and like being out in front of the Capitol Records building kind of a thing. And I mean, like I felt it. That was there, but not the rest of it. I would not have bought the 4K DVD Ultra. That would have never happened.
No, see,
I would buy the Phantom Menace on DVD before I would do that.
Wow, that's
a true film.
Well, it's a good thing I bought it for myself.
I mean, good for you. Enjoy the movies. Get a collection.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to hate on you.
Cam's
Yeah, I mean,
crucifixion
this-
will be scheduled on this date.
right. Yeah.
That's all right. I'll rise the fuck back up too. Easter's right around the corner, babe.
Timely joke. It's funny. Everybody clap.
All right. Do we want to get in? Does anyone have anything else important that they would like to discuss? Because we're already at the about 40-minute mark, so I know score is going to take us at least 20. So,
Did anybody catch any like some of the subtle nods towards other films of the 80s or other horror films within this movie?
I have some ideas, but what do you have specifically?
Well, the substance itself, it looks just like the Reanimator.
See, I've never seen that movie. I've only
Yeah, I
seen
was
I've
gonna say,
always
what
seen the
is
cover
that?
of it.
It's a
I know of
80s
it.
80s horror film about this guy who creates this substance that reanimates dead beings, essentially.
That's rude.
I was going to go with it.
Yeah.
On
And
principle, it's rude.
Yeah. Well, also there's like all the shots that look like they're taken from Psycho. All the shower scenes, like of the water, the
Oh,
shower
yes.
head, when she's like falling on the ground, like just like when Marion dies in Psycho. Yes,
Okay.
Stephen.
Did the shower get fundamentally smaller as the
It
film went
looked
on?
like it.
Or was that just cinema?
It was with the lens. The
It was
lenses
just
they
lens,
used
okay.
to feel that kind of tightening down of
Yeah.
everything.
It was very noticeable.
The initial bathroom shot was very The Shining, like the bathroom
Yes.
where he meets
Yes.
Grady for the first time.
Yes.
Kind of, we
The hallway
sit
was The
in the
Shining.
back.
carpet.
That too.
The carpet was The Shining. The blood scene, Carrie. The hallway blood scene, The Shining.
Yep.
There was a nod to the fly with the dead fly in the drink.
Oh,
The
in his
drink.
drink.
There's also a lot of
Now, see-
roach symbolism that I didn't understand what it was, but I know it was very recurring, so I don't know what
I
that
think that's
was.
because it was trash.
Oh. Vile.
Yeesh.
And apparently her makeup as like the Eliza was very evident of the Elephant Man. Have not seen that, but I was looking at pictures. I was like, oh, this checks out.
Now, when
There's similarities.
she starts fountaining blood over everything,
Yeah.
that was very Evil Dead 2 when
I thought it
Ash
was
cuts
Gallagher.
his hand off.
Yeah, with the boob coming out of her head.
It's just a little
Died.
lactating. Why are you all so
Died. It was
uptight?
so funny.
I think it was an eye socket,
All right.
which that's where I'm just like, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
there's
is
a lot
just
of-
Liz giving a little bit of head back here.
Yeah. There's a lot of eyes and sockets and boobs going on. All right, Cam, you wanna start us off with some scores here?
Sure.
Oh boy.
Let's see what we got. Yeah, so
2, 1, 1, 2.
on nostalgia, I'm giving this a very high score of 3. It was the only bias that I had from this was that my wife had said that she liked it. I didn't really ask any questions. I didn't know anything about this. I feel like I do like the period, whatever the hell that was. But the fact that it couldn't be pinpointed and it was kind of amalgamated over was lost on me. So, I mean, 3 for that guy. On our production side, we've already talked about this. I think those scenes were great. I love the shots. I like the panning. I liked, if those are subtle nods back to other horror films, I guess those resonated without knowing it. But I thought, those things were really awesome. I even loved the score. I liked the music and everything that was going along with it. But that writing and the story, the whole movie, I felt was just a waste of time. And for that, I'm knocking down points to get me to a 7. The spirit and intent on this movie, I guess, if making a superficial, glammy, over the top pile of nonsense, it hit the mark. I realize it's supposed to be satire, but it was just so in your face that you couldn't come to your own conclusions in this because it was presented in such a way. So 5 for this one. On rewatchability, I have no intentions of ever going back to this movie. It's not something that I want to know more about any of these people, characters, scenes, or whatnot. I will, like I said, I'll do my best to suppress this memory with many other substances in the future. But for that one for rewatchability. I would give it a 0, but we can't do that. Overall, this
You can, right?
You could.
can, if you want to
that
give
was
it a
never a rule, but
Yeah, there was no rules to not giving zeros.
No. If I can't give 0 stars on Google, I'm not going to give it here. So we'll at least give it a 1 on that one. Overall, for me, it was a waste. It didn't allow me to connect with any of these characters. I don't believe I was the target audience for this. I have stressed my distaste for these characters and the writing on it. But they're all a bunch of horrible people and I didn't care about them. And as a result for this one, I mean, this is like a 4 for overall. I think I've seen better movies on Friday nights when my friends play B-rolls from the 80s than I did in this one. They made more sense to me. So let me see. We got 20 total score, 40%.
Ooh, wow. Damn.
He's getting up.
You actually made Stephen leave.
I mean, this is my bed and I'm laying in it. I was a proponent of watching this movie based upon some feedback and I went and watched it. I went all the way through this thing and it just wasn't for me. It might be for you. If that hits all the marks that you like, this might be the best movie of your lifetime. It just was not for me. Welcome back, Stephen.
Okay.
He had to take a little walk.
yeah, I had to pace that one off. Holy hell.
I mean, that's even lower than Godzilla. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I love Godzilla.
Godzilla was really
That was a
good.
great movie.
That's a really good movie.
This was not.
All right.
I wish Godzilla ate this movie.
Catherine or Stephen, you want to go next?
Y'all better balance this out
Yeah,
quickly.
I was about to say, let's let Catherine balance this out.
Oh man.
She's been waiting days to help to woman-splain this movie to me.
Woman-splain it? I don't know. You've already dug your heels in. There's no chance with you.
They are stilettos.
Lost red bottoms.
Mm-hmm. That's how you know they're expensive.
I know that.
I know that.
Oh, I'm
Some
glad you
movie
know a
told me.
thing, Stephen.
I know a thing.
For me, nostalgia and bias. I saw clips of this film on TikTok and was like, what in the world is this movie? I am wildly interested. Watched clips of it, and I ultimately was very excited to see this film. I love 80s films in general, particularly like comedy horror, and this one checked pretty much all the boxes for me. So I gave this an 8 in nostalgia. I was very excited to check this movie out. As for production, this is pretty much everything that Cam had to say that he hated, I loved. So I gave this a 10 in production value. There was a lot of nods towards previous films, such as The Reanimator, The Fly. I even said The Thing in there, The Shining. The cinematography was fantastic in this movie. Just so many creative shots, particularly ridiculously long hallways. Mm-hmm. A lot of claustrophobia in this.
In depth, just like switching between Elizabeth and Sue, how it was very flowing and smooth and cinematic with Sue, because it's all about her vanity and how she looks and portrays herself, versus Liz, who's it's a lot of like wide shots of her just completely alone and very depressing. And then in a sense claustrophobic at the same time. And a lot of use on color symbolism in the film as well. Stephen and I talked about her jacket that she wore and that representing the egg. Yeah.
Yolk.
The yolk. Yeah. So anyway, overall, I'm giving production value, including like the makeup and the prosthetics and everything, a 10. And personally for me, spirit and emotional intent, again, a 10. I loved this movie. I watched it twice. It hit home for me. It was a movie made by women for women. Target audience here, me.
Total Fulu.
So I resonated with this message.
It wasn't for me. It was definitely not by me.
I mean, there are other films out here that convey a similar message, maybe not as satirical and ridiculous as this film is, but I mean, if you guys had seen Barbie at all, you would know that as well.
I did. I liked Barbie a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. I thought it was very good.
Stephen did not like Barbie.
I haven't seen it. I haven't watched it.
What the fuck just happened?
He has a different
Barbie.
I feel the side eye happening over here.
Even The Craft, which you guys didn't like it. Guess what? Not target audience.
I did not like that movie, but it just.
I thought The Craft was awesome when I was 17 and that movie came out. Those chicks were high.
Now it doesn't hit the same. It's just
it has less substance.
All right,
we're gonna jump on this derailing all the time.
Yeah, Catherine, let's go. Get back in.
I keep trying to talk, and
I know.
you chuckle nuts keep interrupting my life.
Seriously.
Anyway, spirit and emotional intent. 10. I resonated with this film and the messages that it conveyed. And rewatchability, I gave it a 9. I already rewatched it. I liked it so much. It was living rent-free in my head for several days that I wanted to watch it again, so much so that I even bought a copy because I know I'll want to revisit this movie more than once.
I had to get an eviction.
Hush. And overall, I gave it a 9. I enjoyed everything about this film. Was it perfect? No, but I was thoroughly entertained throughout the entire movie. And I loved the message and how it was tied to horror, especially horror comedy. I thought the ending was, like, while it was horrific, I also found it funny. I think that was the point as well. I would agree. I think that was the point. I did get that. Oh, I'm glad you got one of them.
Yeah, one of them hit super hard at the end. It was really when the boob fell out on stage.
Thank you, Cam's wife, for subscribing to this channel. She has very much thoroughly enjoyed this episode.
Score 46 out of 50, 92%. This was one of my highest scores yet.
Wow. I would not have expected that. Or would I? Is that satire?
But we expected you to hate it because you always hate everything.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's my
Steven, you want to?
generation.
Steven, you want to go? Or you want me to go?
You're up next. You haven't talked enough this episode. You're up.
Okay.
Old Nick stole the podium last episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've talked out from the last episode.
He's been
all right,
regaining
so,
his voice. Yeah.
Yes, for nostalgia, I gave this an 8. I am very versed in body horror films, whether that's, anything David Cronenberg, Bad Taste, Dead Alive, Evil Dead, The Thing, like a ton of Takashi Miike movies from Japan. So this movie falls right in my wheelhouse. So I was like, how do I give this a score of nostalgia? I'm like, wait a minute, I've watched so many body horror movies and I love them all. So like, we have to give this high marks. For production value, a 9.5. The prosthetics, the camera work in this was fantastic. Like, there's so many inspirations that came from this between Terry Gilliam and David Lynch and Kubrick. There's even a little Coen brothers in there. The Hudsucker Proxy is the one I'm thinking of the most. A lot of like close-up, wide-angle shots of people's faces. When I was watching it, that's where my brain went to. But the set pieces were great. Everything, I just loved everything about this. And then those little pieces, like all the cars in the background, we have the new and the old, and there's no kind of in between. Those little pieces that I need to go back, rewatch it to pick up on.
Well, it's like what, sorry to interrupt, but like what Stephen mentioned with the Substance logo was the yolks. I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a side conversation. The two yolks.
It was right there.
Yeah, the two yolks separating when they did the injection, and then the logo is a minimalistic version of the two halves, which means that you are also one whole person, and that's kind of like the company. They had a graphic designer on that show. I can tell you they did.
You want to do your favorite meme there, Steven?
Big Pacha energy. Just actually.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick. Carry on.
That's okay. So yeah, production value 9.5. Spirit, I gave this a 9. This movie was intimate in how they were portraying what she was going through. They were up in her face. They were, I wrote down this movie could have been called Ass, 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 but there's so much booty in this movie. What was that?
There was a muff shot.
Yes, but it was just like there, up close and personal. But I really like what they did. I understood the message that they were portraying here. And then on top of that, we have the satirical nature of it, the body horror of it, and just the absolute ridiculousness of how we started off with the fading star of somebody turning into a complete bloodbath over an audience and her slinking away and essentially dying on her own star.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I gave that a 9. Rewatchability, I'm going to go with a 7.5. It's definitely a hard watch for people. I'm going to watch it again. I need to rewatch it with my girlfriend. I don't know how many times I'm going to run back to it, but I definitely will rewatch this movie again. I did really enjoy it. My overall thoughts are an 8.5. I think it hits a lot of marks. And that gives me a 42.5% at 80, or 42.5 at 85%.
Nice.
Well done.
Yeah.
Steven, bring us home.
All right. Okay. So, nostalgia, there wasn't a lot here for me to go into this film. Wasn't looking forward to this film. I don't have...
You didn't like body horror. You were just like...
it's not my thing. I haven't experienced like the essential body horror films, like the ones that were listed off, like The Fly and The Thing and The Things and The Stuffs, not in my inventory, so I don't have those films to lean on. I really like the Kubrick stuff. I really like avant-garde. I don't have enough French filmmaking in my inventory to like rank this very high, so it's a 4, unfortunately, for like my going into this film. Pretty low marks. Production value, damn, this was a really well put together film. That 17 mil number just stares me in the face, and especially what they accomplished and the intention going out with what they were trying to accomplish. I will be fact checked on this, and everybody can check me on this. The split back prosthetic of the split was created and a proof of concept before they actually cast anyone for the film. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I made that the fuck up, but
That was a cool part, by the way.
yes, it was really good.
I got that.
Practical
Good job.
effects were really, really good.
Golf clap for you.
It's like a cocoon. It's crazy. A metamorphosis of such.
Oh yeah.
They actually made like full body prosthetic out of Demi Moore and Margaret, which is just crazy.
I literally said, like, holy shit, that is a practical effect. That is not CGI. Like, I was just flabbergasted in the first watching. So I'm giving it a 10 on production value and cinematography. There's a lot of homage to Hollywood shit that I don't have. I definitely detected the Wes Anderson and the Kubrick shit. That's a little bit like bonky over the head, but it was really pretty. Like, I think like new movies or new shows or anything is like, if you pause a movie at any moment, that's your desktop for your computer. I think it achieves that benchmark. Spirit, I'm going to rank it low because this is going into like my very big hatred of Hollywood. I don't like
You're clutching your pearls there, Cam.
I like the ambition.
Preach it, brother.
I like the ambition going out to, like, I want to empower. I want this to be a feminine, and I have no ground to stand on, this quicksand that I'm making this declaration on, but it just feels like a film that is so a product of someone that's already indoctrined into Hollywood and cinema, and like, I went to college and I know film, and I'm gonna make women feel good about it, but also I'm gonna subjugate my lead actors into feeling like shit, performing in really weird shit to get a message across. It feels a little bit out of pocket, and so I rate it a 5. It's really kind of gross to me to use the vehicle of the thing that I hate to then fire the gun or something like that. I don't know. I'm not trying to like be too artisanal about it. I think it was really weird.
She's only this was her second feature.
Correct, and Revenge is the
Everything
first.
else was just TV stuff that she did, and that was only 3 other TV series.
I remember her from some
The
series.
Sandman.
No, not that one.
Okay, then Les Freeze Cloches. I don't think you watched that one back in 2008. And
I felt like
La
I saw it.
Telegram. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that either. We're talking about Sue here, right?
No, we're talking about the director.
Sue was in the show called Maid, which Stephen and I were talking about.
Where she was a maid.
She was a maid, and it was called Maid.
The director, the who writes the film? Screen.
She wrote that one. She
wrote it.
No,
too.
I'm
the
sorry.
director wrote it.
What's the title for someone who writes movies?
Screenwriter?
Screenwriter.
Okay, yeah, she was the director and screenwriter.
Correct.
Just so everybody takes my scores with a grain of salt. I don't like this industry, and I haven't been a part of it.
She said that this was a lot of her own personal things
Yes.
that she was able to put on the screen where she didn't feel worthy as now a 40, 50-year-old woman, like that her time was over, and like it all was wrapped up in the script in this movie to show that.
Yeah. So does it feel good to subjugate people to the same thing that you went through? Is that what you want to go through with your messaging?
all women go through it.
Yeah. So let's subject everyone else to that same thing.
I'm not subjecting it.
If we don't ever, we're putting it on Front Street so we cannot continue to do that.
Oh,
and so
great.
people can relate to it. Women
and relate
can
to it, and not continue to hopefully do that in the future.
Yeah.
So she wants to monitor herself.
No.
I'm gonna moderate myself here.
Hold on. Let's not get us kicked off of anything.
It's all in good fun. It's just a movie review.
Yes. All right. Go. So you were a 10 on production value. Spirit. What was your spirit? 5. Okay. Back on track here.
Rewatchability, a 7. I think there's a lot of great symbolism. It's a really good film objectively. There's a lot of intent with what people should take away. Some of us don't take away the same things that we should be taking away. Camp, not me. I would completely absolve myself from any problems with that.
Sure.
Overall,
I think I knew what the message was before I got into the movie. I didn't need the reinforcement from the movie. I'm just saying. I think that's why it's lost on me so much, is because I see this shit all the time, and I'm like, yeah, don't do that. Oh, you made 90 minutes of a movie to tell me to don't do that. Okay.
4 pounds of scrimps. Bugs are of the sea.
That's where that 17 mil went.
All the shrimp. This movie was all.
Dennis, we're gonna need another
boobs
take.
or blood.
Not boobs or blood. I was gonna put it boobs or blood, but.
Or back goo or spinal fluid or whatever that was that she was siphoning out of her spine.
Stabilizer.
Yeah.
We can count on when I had to like actually close my eyes and turn away. The nodule that came out with like pulling out the needle.
Very much Requiem for a Dream type experience.
You know what?
Like pushing it.
I've probably seen like double-digit movies in my entire life. I have seen Requiem of a Dream. I fucking hate that film. Hate that fucking.
All right. Well, we're gonna do that soon on.
I think you got the message for the film on that one. It was based on the satire of drug use.
Hate that fucking movie. I hate that fucking movie. Boy, howdy, do I hate that movie.
All right, what's your overall score here?
Overall, it's an 8 out of 10. I think it was a very fantastic movie. I think it does a lot for the space. I really hate Hollywood. I hope it dies one day. Probably not in my lifetime, but it is what it is. So that puts me at a 68% if my math is correct.
Your math is correct.
Mathing is maths.
Nice. I did also want to mention the sound design for this movie, like just the substance when it that horn, the like almost Star Wars-esque
bass boost,
the alert. No, that
Dolby sound coming in true and clean.
Oh, that was a nod to ILM. You didn't pick up on that?
Oh God, ILM. We missed thee.
Also, this is something that I just wrote down because I remembered it. The secret room that she creates. Where is this apartment that has so much empty space that she just can break down a wall?
She's a big daytime workout star. Of course she has space.
Oh, yes, but she's in an apartment building.
She didn't create a different room, but she just created a different route to the bathroom. Am I tripping?
No, this was from the bathroom.
It was beyond the bathroom, so there's just like a lot of extra space in this
empty space. Apartments are known for empty space they can't charge rent for.
Oh.
Yep.
So break down the wall, make a secret room. Oh, that was one more thing. When Elizabeth wakes up for the first time, and she's like, "Wow, I just made another one of me." Gets up and just walks out of the new secret room. and doesn't say a thing. Doesn't turn around and go, what the fuck is all this? Like, this room wasn't here before. She just kind of grabs the door, kind of closes it on her way out, and never says, never gestures, never looks in the direction of, wait a minute, there's a whole room here. What the fuck was I doing in this room?
Yeah, but she freaks out when there's 8,700 boxes of KFC there the next day. Like, all right, so pick a lane. Are you going to remember this stuff or not? I didn't get that point.
Oh, that was 100% like a not respecting the rules kind of thing, because it's a split. Like, you walk in and see the food, and then she has the paranoia, and so the split nightmares are very important symbolism. I know that's a big term for you, Cam, but
hold on, I gotta look that up.
Catherine, continue.
I couldn't find
wait.
it.
Now, if it was me, I wouldn't have spelled it right.
I.
Yeah, CIMBULZM.
You said
I couldn't
BU?
find it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
Symbolism. I mean, I know how to say stuff. Shit.
The squiggly lines underneath the word means it's spelled wrong.
I know that all too well. There's a lot of this.
I thought they were waving it up. You're doing good. That's why I have so
Did I
many.
break you, Steven?
This is a fun episode. I'm enjoying myself.
It's substance.
All right. Well, all right, Steven, you want to hit us with some substantive plugs? That's not the word I'm looking at.
Absolutely.
Steven, hit us with some plugs.
Not that anyone would go there, but Never Touching Grass, a great place.
We've got all your shitty movie needs taken care of.
Doing great Call of Duty gameplay over on Twitch and YouTube. Big energy over there at Never Touching Grass. Check that out. And we have Spectacle Views, living her best Disney millennial life. You can check her out. Catherine is over there at Spectacle Views. And then we have our notorious great mediator and leader, Nick, over at Fire Hazard 508 Creations, where he's making playthings into display things. Check that out. Great things over there. Maybe some Transformers, maybe some G.I. Joe, maybe some
Minecraft.
Maybe some Thor.
Yeah, things you can check out over on.
Maybe fixing his other friends' broken toys because they have Hulk hands.
Yeah.
We're all children here.
Speaking of, this is Cam's toy right here that I missed away.
Yay, Jetfire! I love you so much. I can't wait for you to be different. Kind of like the substance.
Speaking of substance, there's plenty of substance over at Funky Games, where you can check out great quintessential video game plays over at my channel, Funky Games. It's all there. You can check that all out, and I did all my plugging duty. So,
all right. Well, make sure you like and subscribe here. Leave some comments of some movies that you'd like to review, and it's been fun. And we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.
Bye.
bye.